Hey everybody, it's Wisp. It's another time for predictions in Fire Emblem Heroes. I say that like it's a thing that I do, but I know it's been a little while. After the Brave banners were coming out where we kind of knew what they were, I wasn't sure how to progress. And so I kind of just hit a lull with them. 3 months at a time's a little long. 1 month didn't give me time to plan and really know how to handle Resplendent Heroes. So I've decided to come back at it. 2 months at a time is good enough. It's not exactly quarterly, but it's 2 months. that's enough time, I think. So that's what we'll be doing, is 2 months. And for Resplendent Heroes, when I guess those, I'm guessing the hero that will be revealed on the day, not the one that's coming out on that day. Just makes it easier so that I'm not trying to predict when a new character is going to come out, halfway through or whatever. It's kind of my standard now. That's what'll keep it clear. Okay, so with that said, November is coming up, and we're starting off actually early in November, November 5th, so is when we should be getting our trailer. 7th is the banner. So November 4th or 3rd will be our silhouette, which means I better be on time to post this on November 2nd. Okay. I'm thinking that the ninja banner is gone. It's been fun, but pirates and ninjas kind of go hand in hand. We got 2 pirates and we moved on to thieves. Now we got 2 ninjas. I think we're going to move on from that as well. My biggest guess is detectives, because they've kind of the Voting Jubilee had it. In no way does that mean they're actually predicting something or planning on going somewhere with it. But I just think it's a possibility. I think it would be a lot of fun. So, using the Voting Jubilee, I am going to be guessing for detectives as the November theme. Right off the bat, I'm hit with Honeyman. He's not in the game yet. Manuela's kind of his counterpart, and she is a Christmas unit. She's a seasonal as well. So him being a seasonal locked character makes sense. As far as detectives go, he's already kind of got the look. I don't think he's popular enough to be someone people would pay for. I'm pretty comfortable in putting him with the Tempest Trial units. But to fill out the banner, I think Male Robin will be leading it. I know Matthew and Lila actually won the poll of detective duos, and Crom and Robin were second place. But I think they're kind of using that for inspiration. Lila already got a thief that just got added to the game for the Thieves banner. And I also feel that Crom won't be coming, even though Robin is, because Crom got the lead of a duo already this year, and he got his Brave, and I think Fallen Crom's going to be his next ult. And that could be proven wrong at any point, but that's kind of where my head is at with Crom. So I don't think we're getting Detective Crom. However, between Honeyman and Male Robin, this month I think we're going to get like a 3-game split. We often do get like 2 or 3 games for seasonals. So for the 3rd game, I'm going to Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. And so far, we got Male Robin, who is one of the smarter characters in FEH canon, or in Fire Emblem canon, and Honeyman, who is a very inquisitive professor who has the brown coat. He already looks like a detective. Looks like he could be a Sherlock Holmes-like character. Just give him like a monocle. I think we're going to go kind of the opposite route with Marissa. She's a very respectable person. She's smart, but she's not so much the inquisitive, intelligent type of smart. But she's popular. She's from a popular game. She's kind of due for an ult anyway. I think it's been a little while. And I think that it would kind of put like a dash of humor onto the banner. For our last typical banner unit, I put Cordelia. She's, like Robin, one of the smartest characters in Fire Emblem, at least in Fire Emblem Awakening. She's a perfectionist. She does things very neat and detailed, which is kind of another really famous detective trope, kind of. All of the detective shows have that one character that has everything perfectly set up, and that would definitely be her. And if you were working a case, she wouldn't miss a single detail, so she would be a tremendous help. So I am putting Cordelia. For the harmonic, because this should be a harmonic month, it doesn't always work like that, but when it comes to duos and harmonics, I'm always just going to alter. I'm going to pick one for each of the 2 months. So for Harmonic Hero, these ones are fun because duos are typically main characters, not always, but typically. Harmonics have a lot more leeway. Sometimes they're main characters, but sometimes they're more of the side characters. So I thought that one of the possibly most successful, but also one of the funniest detective duos or harmonics that we could see would be with La Rochelle and Constance. They obviously don't interact. They're not from the same universe, basically, but they both have such an over-the-top energy that also works with them both being well-spoken, intelligent nobles, that I think them being a harmonic duo would just be a lot of fun. So that's my guess for a detective banner. It would be the first of the seasonal type, maybe last, maybe they do another one next year, who knows. But if we only ever get one, that's kind of what I want to see. Next up would be our first Resplendent, revealed on November 10th. And I think it's finally time we get Camilla. I'm guessing Hell for her. I know Fairies are another popular guess, but she's already got the Easter alt that could kind of start to get really similar. So I'm thinking Hell Camilla. And I think she could look really cool. I know for some people it's not finally, but to be fair, it's been years since she got an alt. The last thing she had was the backpack of a duo unit, and I think that she's beyond due for one. I think it's fair that she gets one now, or at least very soon. So, it's time, I think. I think it's been long enough. Our main banner is really exciting because November is a good month in FEH in the sense that it is the last month of the book. So the book is going to be ending. Things are going to get really exciting. This story banner has its characters, like whoever comes in the actual banner will be in the story briefly. But the story itself is also wrapping up. So they've got to have like a pretty good standalone bunch here. And I do think that because of the way the Tempest Trials has been working, this is our second time getting a story. Last time we got 4 characters between Niflf and Fjorm, and then Leghorn and Muspel. This time I think we're getting 5. I think that Thrashir's joining the party, so we'll have Leaf, Ganglot, Air, Ymir, and Thrasir. So I'm guessing we're getting rearmed Thrasir. She's going to be roped into the last 2 months of this Tempest Trial story. It's not confirmed to be 2 months, it's just the last one was 6. This one's had 4. I think we're going to get 2 more. So I think these last 2 parts are going to have Thrashir joining the fray. She's going to get in as a rearmed hero on the final banner of this book. Other than that, I think we're going to be getting a 3 Houses focused banner. This is the last year that 3 Houses is the baby. And I think they're going to revel in it. I think they're going to really push forward with that fact. And we got 3 Hopes a little bit ago. We got a 3 Hopes Mythic very recently. I think they're going to take this last hurrah of 3 months being the baby, the brand new game, the youngest in the franchise, and give us one more banner at the end of the year, like this. And I think that it's going to look something like a crazy time skip. It gets people rehyped because, yes, 3 Houses isn't the baby game anymore, isn't the newest game anymore that we want 100 banners of and whatever, like over the top. But if we get a time skip banner, people are invested again. We get a time skip banner that's going to kind of spread the love between the routes. I'm guessing Felix and Dorothea for, Blue Lions, Black Eagles, and then a demote Lawrence. Got a great time skip design. Great character, just unfortunately not that popular. I think Cyril's going to round it off. He's got a time skip design, and people kind of did like that one. But he also isn't the most popular character, so I think that him coming for free, since Thrashir's taking a spot on the banner, kind of works. I don't know if every month really needs an Ascendant. Not every month gets one. But if somebody were to, maybe Felix, since he's doing so well, they might want to kind of give him some love, since CYL's what it is. CYL's kind of a whole thing. GHB, I'm just hoping we finally get Tullus if we do get a 3 Houses banner. It's weird to me that he's not in the game. I really think he's a cool character for just the evil cultist thing that, they kind of shoehorn into most games. Alright, so moving on from that, I think we're getting a Fairy Resplendent next, and it's going to be Olivia. Inigo, if he ever gets something, is going to be a fairy. Lucina's a fairy. I think Olivia's going to be a fairy. Lucina's kind of the odd one out there. She's not technically their family, but I think that she fits that group because I just see them as family. I don't even care. I'm not going to hide it. Since Lucina's a fairy, I think that Olivia and Inigo will be ones as well. Since this is the end of the book, we might actually get a legendary and mythic conjoined banner. In which case, I think we're going to get Imbla and Bruno now that Bruno is dead. Maybe. I still have my doubts. There's still that part of me that thinks maybe Bruno's still kicking. But it really looks like he's dead, and so he can finally join our team. So Bruno and Imbla coming together to celebrate the end with Elm. Maybe he dies, maybe he lives, maybe he's already dead. Kind of unclear. But Elm's going to be left out for a while until maybe he gets a seasonal or later on gets a mythic or something. But I don't think we're seeing Elm right away. He was a little bit popular, though. Before his character was revealed, before we really knew who he was, he did decent in CYL. And I mean, having more than one character who can turn into a bat would be kind of cool because bats are new to Fire Emblem. Okay, but that should wrap off November and bring us to December, which is a huge month because they do that special Christmas sale. The legendary hero that usually ends December gets some like free tickets. And it's the brand new book. The book begins. We get like 3 story chapters and we get a brand new OC. So December's pretty decent. December's kind of big. So from the top, we'll start off with our seasonal, the Christmas banner, which I think is going to be solely focused on Fire Emblem 4. And I think we're finally getting the Sigurd and Salif duo, probably Salif leading, because Sigurd led a duo already. Salif backpacked to Harmonic. I think Salif's going to take the lead this time, but they're going to get their Santa Claus duo. Other than that, I was kind of just thinking, like, Fire Emblem 4 characters that are pretty popular, deserve some love, deserve to be in the game if they're not in already. Arya and Tail 2 I put in for popularity, and maybe it's time to give them some love. And then Dew I thought could be added as a Christmas unit, and people wouldn't be too upset if you're already like specifically a Dew fan, especially because they're a cooler banner. If you're going to only have a seasonal, there are cooler ones than the Christmas ones. Sorry, Felix. I think we're getting, for the Christmas Tempest trial, I really want it to be Arvis with the Krampus outfit. Krampus is kind of like the anti-Santa Claus. He's scarier, more violent, and I think that Salif and Sigurd versus Arvis Krampus would be really fun, and introduce like villains. Like we could get a Walhart one. We could get, I don't know, just different like villains in. Walhart would look really good as a Krampus unit. Throw in Arvis. Maybe later give more units the Krampus one. The Christmas outfits are a little samey to me, but last year did a lot better. Last year had a lot more personality and individuality in the outfits, and it wasn't just these like big Santa robes. So if the Krampus thing is to happen, I think now's a good chance for it. And then, I mean, Tharja wasn't the first Christmas banner, and hers was noticeably different than everyone else's, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so Leal for Embla, I think, will be revealed on December 10th. She is almost a cool character, and then she's got that whole thing going on with Ophelia that is just a mess, and I would like her, but I think that she might get a Resplendent still because she's still relatively popular. She's a good unit, and she's part of a very popular character's family, so that helps. Normal book banner is going to have our new OC. Don't know what the OC is going to be. Don't know like what weapon, what skill color or whatever. So it's kind of hard to guess around that. But I think that this could be when we get the Dawn Brigade, because last time we got that kind of weird Awakening banner that I loved because I've been waiting for Priam for like the whole game. And then he came out of nowhere. But I can still admit that it was kind of a weird banner that people weren't expecting, especially when there were both more children and more shepherds that could have been added to the game. But I've been waiting for the Dawn Brigade, and it made sense in the very beginning if maybe they came with Micaiah and Soph. But now, Micaiah and Soph have been in the game for a long time. They're nowhere to be seen. They're still, well, Edward is still relatively high in the popularity polls for his game, with the stipulations that you only look at characters who weren't in the game, then you narrow it down to Tellius, then he's really high. But I think that that's going to be our bet. I think we're going to get Edward and Leon as a demote, most likely. Then, since we're getting the OC, Nolan can come for free. That way we get the Dawn Brigade in, but it's not like clouded with a bunch of guys on the banner. One of them's a demote and one of them is free. So then there's room for more things. OC is probably going to be a woman. We haven't had a male OC since Alphonse, and the ones we do have are like the side characters or the villains who die. So that would kind of even out the gender ratio. And so I'm thinking OC, Edward, Leonardo. And then I think we'll get Laura, another healer on a 5-star, and one who's not particularly favored. She's not well loved, is weird. But it would make sense for Aaron to then be the GHB, and we basically get a very early Fire Emblem 10 banner. Although if we're getting the Dawn Brigade, we might also get Jared as the GHB, but I think that no. I think I'm comfortable saying Aaron's the GHB and Laura's on the banner. It means December 25th, or a little earlier, we'll have a new Resplendent revealed. And yeah, I think it's going to be Kane, or Quain. And I know I already guessed a Hell Mythic, so it seems kind of early to say that again, but it makes sense, considering. Although, more interestingly, maybe now that the region of life is a place we've been through air, maybe we could actually get a life mythic Kane. Or Quain. But we don't have a symbol for that, so that probably can't happen quite yet, so I'm going to stick with hell for the sake of my actual guess. And to wrap off my guesses for the units in December, I think we're getting a legendary again. And I was kind of going through, and I think we're getting a female character, mainly because lately we've gotten Arvel, who is non-binary, and then, if I'm right, Bruno and Imbla, male and female, which resets us. So we need kind of a moneymaker. So I was thinking, like, which female character could come and make a lot of money? Because there aren't a lot of men that would make a lot of money. The main characters are already in it for the most part. It's a little early for Shez, and the female avatars already have legendaries. So it could just be one of the male avatars. But I don't know. And so yeah, that's when it really hit me. The legendary pool is expanding on who can be taken. But I think it's time for that real Camilla ult. That does mean that I'm putting Camilla on 2 different predictions on the same set of months. But the best way to return to form would be getting her Resplendent and Legendary back to back. They've done it before. I mean, I guess Crom's kind of a special case because he won a voting gauntlet. But Robin also got an ult in both October and in February, which is only like 8 months apart. Which is different than 2, but one of them's a Resplendent, and it doesn't really have new skills, so I don't know if it counts as much. Plus, they would need both Camilla voice actresses back in the booth to record for the Resplendent, so what better time to get the lines out for the Legendary that who knows how long has been conceptualized, if that's even a thing. Legendary Camilla. I think it's happening. And I'll summon for her. Anyway, I kind of scrapped the point system, right? Because it's a little arbitrary and makes everything a little more complicated than it needs to be. So this is now just to make fun of me if I'm wrong. I'll keep track of it. It'll be fun to see if I'm right or wrong, but there's nothing crazy here. There's no like really in-depth point system that I'm doing this time around. And who knows, maybe we get back into that, maybe we start the point system again, but for now I don't think it's necessary. But anyway, thank you for joining me and for letting me talk about this. If you have any predictions, please share them, especially because November and December are pretty big months. So are the next 2, January and February. Are also going to be fun, but be prepared. Be ready for that. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, and take care. Until next time.